want my son to know that he can see his dad go through difficult seasons in his life, because they're probably gonna happen to all of us. Difficult seasons are not kind of restricted to someone from a certain class or a certain background. We're all gonna have to walk through those seasons. And I want him to see that I am able to be vulnerable and weak in those situations, in the sense where I can admit that I'm finding it really hard and I need to talk and I need to navigate this.
Life isn't perfect. Motherhood isn't perfect. And I am seeing, and there are loads of accounts online that really do show the real and raw side of motherhood. And it's nice to do it, and this is why I like doing it, in an uplifting comedy way, because I don't want, I have also got friends who are terrified of having children or terrified of becoming a mother, because they're like, well, everyone says how or how hard it is. And they've actually been turned off by the idea, whereas I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's difficult. And every day there's some sort of challenge, whether it's getting your kid to bed or getting them to eat or getting their shoes on, of course. But it passes and it's wonderful. And I wouldn't, as I said in my book, I wouldn't change it for the world.
For some of us, we think of our lives and we might think, okay, so I've had this really bad thing happen, so now I must be owed some good stuff. Yeah, so this is, the next corner is going to be all really good. And then you realise that the lights of the corner are the oncoming train.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The end of the tunnel's not quite the end of the tunnel.
No.
Yes.
I do remember thinking, when after all this happened and gradually as I regained kind of equilibrium in life, I thought, God, I'm going to get some wings now. I'm going to be so wise.
Now you
And
really
I'm
are
not-
bulletproof.
The whole imprint is called The Unseen, and it's about bringing these stories that have been ignored or discarded or not seen into the forefront so people can understand more about them. Why do you think we need that? Why do you think that's so important?
More diversity and inclusion should be out there anywhere, and just by people with disabilities as well.
Absolutely. And that's what you do for the modelling and dancing world, is you bring that previously unseen story forwards, and now you're doing it in books as well.
Wow!
Hi, I'm Cole Morton, and I'm really pleased to say I've written a York course called Searching for Home, Advent Reflections on the God who Welcomes Everyone. I'll be joined to discuss this by Bishop Rose Hudson Wilkin, by Bridget Chapman, who's an activist and works with refugees across the country, and by Grimahalem Gwenetse Kassa, a young man from Eritrea with a remarkable story.
But then we have a small minority, and they are a small minority, but they're loud. They're loud, and they give the impression as if they are in greater numbers. And what we have today and over the years are different colours of government who decides that because these people are so loud about, why we got these immigrants coming to our country and changing the nature of who we are, etc. The government decides, instead of doing the right thing, successive governments have actually chosen to play a game. It's a dangerous game because, as more than one parliamentarian reminded me when I was chaplain in Parliament, Rose, you know that, after we've had this debate and we may have had our big row in the chambers, we go back to the tea room or to to have drinks together. I said, yes, but the people in the various communities, they don't see that. I see that and I know that. So you have a responsibility as political leaders to set the right tone.
The Business Leader's Essential Guide to Growth. Businesses rarely seem to grow quite in the way that the owners want them to. They either grow too fast or too slow, or not at all. Sometimes they even go backwards. The Business Leader's Essential Guide to Growth sets out the methods, the tools, and the techniques to enable your business to develop, thrive, and grow, so you can achieve your business and personal goals. Whether you are a business owner, director, or entrepreneur, the Business Leader's Essential Guide to Growth enables you to eliminate the barriers to growth and build your business with confidence, control, and reward. I wish you success in your journey.
In hospital, thinking about what I want to do and, you know, whether you said something about cheering them up or healing them. Did you actually think those thoughts?
I think so. I didn't think it was a career choice at the time, but I certainly went through my childhood doing that, you know, and trying to be not the Joker as such, but just trying to cheer things along and trying to write comedy and just tell jokes and things like that. And so so you asked the question about the instabilities of these things, and I think I learned early on that life is unstable. And the things we can rely on, you know, for all of us, when our walks of life, at some point in life, you hit those sort of medical moments or those crisis moments, and it can be delayed by decades, but it happens at some point or other.